Join us live on the Sherry Lord Talk Show podcast. Start your day off with the Higher Vibrational Podcast with weekly guests covering spirituality, healthy foods, and so much more. Go to sherrylord.com for more info. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Sherry Lord Show podcast. We're so excited. We thank you for joining us every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. and we love you very much. Make sure you like us and share our podcast. We want to grow it. And if you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, go to www.sherrylord.com and you can request to be on my show, or you can email me at sherrylordpodcast@gmail.com and tell me why you want to be on my show. We'll be more than welcome to have you. And I'd love to speak to you. Also, if you want to place an ad, go to www.sherrylord.com or contact me at 941-961-2731. We'd love to help promote you, your business, or your products. And we have a very special guest. We love Melissa Marcum. She's been on our show many times, and we keep bringing her back because she's awesome and she always has something new to update us with astrology and other things that are going on in the world. Welcome, Melissa. We're so happy to have you back on our show.
Thank you so much, Sherry. I'm really happy to be on the show. I always get some great tips from you, and just us spiritual people have to stick together.
Yeah, we have to uplift each other. And I think that's important. Can you let our audience know a little bit about you? And then we'll go into what you want to talk about. But I mean, a lot of people watch us that know you, but there's a lot of new people who may not know you and what you do.
Absolutely. So I, like many people, it was 2019, had a spiritual awakening around around COVID. And I always had an interest in astrology when I was a kid, and just always went to astrologers, would look at my horoscope. But I always thought there was so much more than just your sun sign. So I was at a retreat, and I got introduced to a woman who said, I have the perfect astrologer that you should train with. Her name is Carol Cummings. I trained with her for a couple of years, and she was amazing. And the last, I would say, 4 years, I've been doing readings. I've been doing personal readings, business readings. And just recently, I met somebody, my partner, who became a life partner too, but he is really into health and fitness. And I've always been into health and fitness, but he said, why don't you mix astrology with biohacking? And I was like, what is biohacking? I've heard about biohacking, but what is it? And it's really about biohacking your body to get it into the right rhythm. We get half our genetics from our father, half from our mother, and we're missing essential things in our body. And so, for example, for me, when I took this methylation test, I was deficient of magnesium and zinc. And I didn't even know any of this stuff.
Okay.
And so I started on the program almost a year ago, and it's like I can sleep better at night. I don't have that oh my God thoughts running in my head. So what we've designed is putting a program where you could get to your highest vibration with astrology. And then your body is in a state of where you have sound mind and body. So you're going to want to do the work, right? I mean, I would talk to my clients and it's like, yeah, I have this work to do, but I don't always feel the best, right? I mean, gut issues, can't sleep at night, feel like they're running on this perpetual cogwheel. It's like all well and good we're in this session, but feel kind of limited about doing the work. So I think that's where the two can marry and really help each other, because you can just biohack without the astrology. But then it's like, how do I get to my purpose?
Yeah.
The astrology really gives you the purpose. And then you could do the astrology without the biohacking, but then why doesn't my body feel good? Why do I go to the gym and do the same things and have the same results? So really marrying the two has been pretty amazing. And so for me personally, because I won't sell or do anything unless I experience it first,
Right.
And we're launching the website within the next week. I have some people to test out the program, so I'm very excited to get the data from them. And just I wanted to provide some astrology biohacking examples.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a lot of Cancer in your chart, and especially if Cancer is on the ascendant, you could, or Cancer is in your 6th house, you could have some stomach issues, some gut issues. So taking the proper supplementation, doing the proper protocols and biohacking can really fix that. Same if you have a lot of Aries in your chart and you're always running. Aries people have a lot of energy. Sometimes you need a cold plunge to cool inflammation, or you need that recovery time. So again, it's really kind of doing all of this with your chart to figure out, okay, I'm feeling better. Now, how do I do the work? What is the work to be done? And I feel that a lot of people have asked me, how did biohacking get started? Like, what is with all of this? And I think it was in the 70s, and we remember this, where the food industry just went awry, right? Where we started seeing more high fructose corn syrup and things. We started seeing all the chemicals in different things.
Yeah.
And it's like we started depleting the essential minerals that we need, because this body has everything we need. We just need to take care of it. I always say to people, hey, I'm gonna pass someday. I just want to be healthy. There's no reason to walk around and to feel tired, to feel like you have inflammation, to have all this stuff. And I personally seek Eastern and Western medicine. I understand there is a place for Western medicine if you break your arm, if you need antibiotics. I just think that you have to work with your own body's rhythm and what you need. And everybody's an individual of what they need. So I'm very excited about the program.
That sounds exciting. And you know what? I think it's very important. The vitamins are what you need. Because I remember I went through, and I don't usually use them that much, but one day I was in meditation. I go, what's going on? And what I was hearing from my guides and my angels was you need zinc and magnesium. So when I started to listen to what dosage I need, what I needed, I felt so much better. And you can get more done when you're feeling better,
Exactly. I mean, they say 8 amino acids, 3 fatty acids, 91 essential minerals is what you need. And everybody's different. I know that when I take, for example, NAD for cellular regeneration, I feel better. When I'm taking methylene blue for clarity and energy, I'm feeling better. And this is not a one-stop shop, like, okay, one day you take all this stuff and you're going to feel great. It's a process. It's taken me at least 3 months for my body to heal and to get into the correct rhythm with all of this. So I tell people, hey, this stuff takes work. It's not like taking a pill and just, you're great. You're trying to biohack your body back into its best form. So, and again, I think the astrology helps because the astrology, wherever you look in the planet, in your chart, wherever there's planets, is where you need to do the work. So, and you look at the house rulers, that gives you a guide. Astrology is the blueprint for everything in your life. So if you combine the two, you're going to awaken to your true purpose. That's what I feel. And I know that I've eliminated a lot of the brain fog. I'm still working on gut issues, things like that, things that I think that a lot of us people out there have. So I know that it works, and I want to bring it out there for people, because I think it's an important aspect. Another thing I wanted to say too is, when I look at somebody's chart, I look at things and I look at, for example, if they have a lot of fire in their chart, I know that they have a very restless nervous system. So how do you control that? This is where, again, supplementation, proper supplementation can help you. And it can help you by calming the nervous system. Another thing is, like, and I briefly mentioned this with the cold plunge. It's so important, first of all, when you wake up in the morning, is to do 3 rounds of breathing 10 times, very obnoxious breathing, because you're trying to release and get out the carbon dioxide out of your system. And then to kind of penetrate yourself and make it, so, you're feeling good, you're on to your shower. I would say work to doing cold showers. I think cold showers are the most effective. And for women, maybe not too cold, but cold enough where you're in that fight or flight mode. Sometimes when your body is in a fight or flight mode, it's going to react better, because it's going to, drive up the immunities and react in a better state. And you are going to be in a better state of consciousness. Other things I can say about, for my clients that have a lot of Virgo in their chart, they tend to be detailed oriented, or they tend to worry about fixating on details. They need peaceful rituals to relieve their overthinking and their stress. And this is where red light therapy can be very informative. This is where grounding, things like that, I think are essential to people. It's like, how do I get into that better state of consciousness? How is grounding going to help me? So those are just some of the key things that, when I look at this program as a whole, could really help be very helpful to an individual. So, so any questions, Sherry, about any of that? I know it was probably a lot there, but
no, it's great. I had some, I had heard in my meditations we were going to have some internet connections.
Well, we're in Mercury retrograde, so it's not surprising that a lot of electronics are failing at this point. So if you have a lot of people get confused about Mercury retrograde. They're like, oh my God, retrograde. Just kind of go with the flow. It's a time to relax, revisit things, and to give yourself ample time for things. Mercury retrogrades happen about 3 to 4 times a year. I feel like this one's a little bit more intense. So just take your time. Take your time with travel. Take your time with, things that can be a little bit challenging to you. Other things I wanted to talk about today. I know that people have been asking me specifically. They're like, what the heck is going on in 2025? Why is it that I'm feeling a lot of anxiety? What's happening with the world? What's happening with the United States? Why does the country seem to be in turmoil? And so what I say is really look at the chart. And us astrologers have been looking at 2025 is a very, very climactic year. So one of the main things is a lot of the outer planets. You have the inner planets, which are personal planets. They are Mercury, Venus, Mars. They're very, they change signs within the year, depending on where they are in the chart. But the outer planets, those are significant. They're called generational planets. So once we get to Jupiter stays in sign about a year, Saturn 2.5 years, Uranus 7, Neptune 14, Pluto 20. So you can see where last year when we had Pluto going from Capricorn to Aquarius, how big of a change that is. And I'll just speak about Pluto in Aquarius. You're going to see some revolutionary things in AI. Sherry and I were just talking about this before the show, that it's time to embrace AI and not be afraid of it. I think there was so many movies in the 70s and 80s that where it shows AI taking over. I mean, the Terminator movies and so forth, but really look for it as a tool to help you. You're going to see, they're already testing for this, self-driving cars, transit systems that are going to be totally AI. And I feel like this is going to help humanity. When we think about all this, I mean, think about the first industrial revolution where, people lived on family farms and they had to use machinery. And how did they adapt to all of this? The same thing is going on right now. Like, how do we adapt to all of this? And I think it's referring to it as a tool. And I think in this age of Aquarius, because there's always the polarity of everything, I think that people need to look at things and say, you know what? I'm not going to let the machine do everything. I feel that, here we have something and we need to look at it and still use the human aspect of who we are, our soul, to handle things as well. We're just using the machinery as a tool to cut down the time it takes to do things. So that, I think, is very important in this age of Aquarius. I do want to say another thing about Uranus going into Gemini. So about every 84 years, Uranus being the awakener, it awakens the planets. The last time the United States saw this energy was during World War II. The time before that was the Civil War. And the time before that was the American Revolution. Yes, there could be an infliction of war with all of this, but I think a lot of it is change. And it's necessary change to get America and the planet to a higher level of consciousness, because that is what this is all about, is getting us to a higher level of consciousness. So again, I think that when Uranus went into Gemini in July, we're seeing a lot of things that can feel very, very uncomfortable. But it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It's really the energy. Which energy are you going to feed? Are you going to feed thinking about, oh my God, we're in war, what are we going to do? Or are we going to think about, how do we help the collective? I'm seeing amazing things with volunteers helping people. And I think that's a very positive thing. I think it's time that we're letting this old energy go, and we're starting a new earth. We're getting into fifth dimensional consciousness, where we're not looking at just the me, myself, and I show, but how can we help the collective grow, and how can we ascend spiritually? So I was just, mentioning too about a lot of the changes that are going on. I also think that with Aries being both, we're out of Pisces because we have the outer planets in Neptune and Saturn going out of Pisces into Aries. Well, then you have that Joan of Arc energy, right? You have that energy that we're going to protect the less fortunate, the marginalized population, people that need help, and you're going to see some great gurus come out of this. Are you going to see, there's always the polarity, yes. There's going to be some people that are going to create chaos. But again, which energy are you going to feed? And I think collectively, I always say, hey, from a war perspective, corporations, government, they have the guns, but we have the spiritual insight. And the spiritual energy collectively is the most important energy you can have, in my opinion. So
Absolutely.
I see this as a great change for humanity that is going to be reflected in all of this. And it's again, it feels disruptive to your nervous system, but I don't know. I think the possibilities are endless. So
I love, very good information. This year has been very intensifying,
Oh, yeah.
and we're going into August. So what are you seeing for the month of August? What do we need to prepare for? What do we need to look for? How can we become better?
I feel like this year is all about change and being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Okay. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Knowing that as we enter in the age of Aquarius, it's breaking down old systems that are not comfortable to us. We're only comfortable in it because we were conditioned to believe that that's all that there is. But as we're seeing it, new ways of doing things, we're going into the fourth industrial revolution. So that is a revolutionary change. I feel like all this chaotic energy is going to go peaks and valleys, up and down, crazy stuff. People say, well, when is it going to be over? I think the energy is going to be a little bit more comfortable as we approach 2030. I know that seems like a far time away, but look, we're almost at the end of 2025. And with all this, we're going to see some of the greatest invention of our lifetime. Like we said in before the show, tools that can help you show the best version of you, whatever you're trying to market. Great inventions in the medical industry. I mean, all the things, we don't have to be scared of AI, because I think AI is again, just a tool. And, so I tell people, I say, listen, breathe. This is where the biohacking comes in. Breathe, do your daily breath work. I am not a big breathwork person. I never have been, but I know when I breathe and I let out all the carbon dioxide and things and all the energy that I want to release, I feel 110% better. But it's like anything else. I have to build a routine for myself and do the work on a daily basis. If I don't do these things, then I'm susceptible to all the forces and energies coming at me, whether they're good or bad. I think sometimes the pain elevates us to a next level of consciousness and elevating our soul to where we need to go to. So pain is not necessarily a bad thing. It's an uncomfortable thing, but there's so much change out of pain that we've all experienced, right? I mean, I can interview 100 people and say, well, what was that point in your life that created the change that you needed? And it was like, well, when this happened, when my mom passed, or I got divorced, or my child was sick, and very hard situations, but those created the change in them that they needed to look at their soul, look at the world, look at everything that was happening to them in a different way. And I think that this is where we are consciously. It's like, what do we want to feed? Do we want to feed the love, or do we want to feed the pain and the fear? And that is where we are going as a species and humanity. Because humanity, I always tell my clients, Earth is like New York. It's like, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. You get to have the experience. You get to come into a body and have all these amazing things happen. But with that comes ego, comes self-doubt, comes pain. You don't necessarily know all the past lives as a record. It's a little bit harder. So it's almost like being alone, but you have all these people around you, your family, your friends, all of the guidance around you. But it's really about you making the decisions and really aligning with your higher self. And the higher self is, I do everything with my higher self now. And sometimes it's hard when you ask your higher self. It's like, okay, is it my higher self or is it my ego? And it's when I'm doing like muscle testing and my body moves a certain way, it's like, oh no, that's my ego. Because for me, going back to the biohacking, I feel a lot of pain in my gut. And that's, the gut brain coherence thing. So, yeah, I think this year is a very challenging year, but I also think this year is an amazing year to get to your highest level of consciousness.
I think absolutely. I think it's amazing. And I just appreciate you. And how can people get a hold of you? Is you a website?
Yeah,
What's new with you?
I'm in
And
the
how can
process
people
of
get a hold of
building.
you?
I'm in the process of building vibrational vitality, but my website is www.mmastrovibes.com. And then if they want to reach out to me by email, it's Melissa Marcum at mmastrovibes.com. And like I said, I do personal readings, I do business professional readings, I do relationship readings. And I'm very interested in people that want to feel good and, want to find out how biohacking and astrology come together, and how do we make mind-body coherence work for them.
Exactly. You're on social media too, correct?
I am. I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm even on TikTok. So I have it all covered, and LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn too.
Good.
So,
oh my gosh. Yeah. You definitely want to get a hold of Melissa. She's amazing. She's a wonderful astrology person, and what she offers is very precise, and she's very good at what she does, and you definitely won't be disappointed at all. And make sure you give her a call. You can always go to our website, www.sherrylord.com. There's a phone number there. Her website's there. You can click on it, and you can click on her email in case you didn't catch how to write it or anything. We're there. And we're going to have her back on. She is amazing. I would like to talk a little bit about astrology and the AI the next time you come on. I think that would be a wonderful topic too. The biohacking was really good because people, you can have both. It doesn't mean you're not spiritual, and we're living in a physical world, so we have a lot of choices.
Absolutely. I just think that, again, mind body coherence, your body feels in alignment. You're in alignment astrologically, and it's just about you doing the work and knowing that, all will be good if you're good inside, outside, and you're putting good energy out to the universe, because I feel like we manifest what we put out.
Exactly.
So it's about selfless service and, healing, and the world needs healing. We're in a state of a new age.
Mhm.
I feel like it's all going to be, it's all going to be okay. How about
Yeah.
that? I'll end with that.
Yeah.
It's all going to be good.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Melissa. We'll definitely have you back on soon. And I want to thank all of our listeners who watch us. Please help us share and get our website out there too. And if you want to be on our website, go to www.sherrylord.com and you can be on our podcast. Thank you and welcome everyone. And thank you, Melissa. We love having you on. Have an amazing day, everybody, and prosperous.
Bye-bye.
International psychic medium and podcast host Sherry Lord.